if you look straight ahead of you, you will see that the bridge is opening up for some vessel to pass. This is part 2 of the tour of the city of Bridgetown. We are at the main bridge, and we're just fortunate enough that it's being opened today. This is part 2 of our tour of Bridgetown, and today is Saturday, the 23rd of March 2024, and it's now 20 past 4. You can see the bridge moving there. I hope you're getting a good view of it. So this bridge, they just closed the gate so that no one can fall into the wharf, or the careenage as it is called. And we'll just wait here a bit to see why they're opening the bridge. And now we see why they open the bridge. That vessel has to pass. So you're fortunate on this tour, you're getting to see the swing bridge in operation. And as before, we're just going to reverse so that you can get a lovely visual of the arch. Very, very well-known area in Barbados. At one time, vehicles used to drive right across this bridge to get to the other side, but now, as I mentioned, it's just for pedestrian crossing. So I always regretted that change, because driving over is really nice, but it's nicer as well walking. So arguments for and against. Ahead of you are the Central Bank and Treasury buildings. The Treasury building used to be the tallest building in Bridgetown and in Barbados in its day. And the tallest building is now way behind it, the Central Bank. From this video, it doesn't look to be taller, but that's just because of the distance. As you can see, the bridge is being lowered. You just got to experience the bridge swinging in Bridgetown. And some of the tourists are going there. So the bridge is being lowered, and those pedestrians no doubt want to cross the bridge, so you're going to see what happens. So the bridge is lowered, back in place, and they're reopening the gates so that pedestrians can make their way across the bridge. You can see the tourists there taking their usual photographs, and these pedestrians getting ready to move, and there you go. The gate is reopened, the second gate, because there are 2 gates on either side of the swing, and there you have it. The gate has been reopened. What a tremendous opportunity for D&J drives to show you Barbados's swing bridge in operation as we continue our part 2 of our tour of Bridgetown. This is Independence Square. This is where the National Library is now. You just saw the old building a few times. The library is to the right. That's a statue behind there of Errol Barrow looking across at the Parliament. Errol Barrow is regarded as the father of the nation, the father of independence. Barbados became an independent nation under his stewardship. So he was the last premier and the first prime minister of Barbados. This area is called Fairchild Street, and that's the Fairchild Street Market. And the bus terminal, the main bus terminal, recently renamed the Grenville Williams Bus Terminal. And we are driving over the bridge. If I'm not mistaken, the name of this bridge is the Chamberlain Bridge, subject to correction. And we make our way through Bridgetown. Part 2 of the video. This is the other end of that bridge. This is the Wharf Road, and we're making a turn onto a very, very narrow road here that takes you back onto Broad Street. And right ahead of us is a building that houses what used to be known as Cave Shepherd, but it's now called Duty Free Caribbean. And the name of this street is Shepherd Street. So I don't know if Shepherd Street was named for Cave Shepherd or if Cave Shepherd was named for Shepherd Street, but I gather Cave Shepherd was in existence for over 100 years and it's been renamed Duty Free. So that's where the tourists, when they come off the cruise ships, they all come in here and do their shopping. And a main area for Barbadians to do their shopping. So we are currently on Broad Street and we're turning off to give you a view of the back of Norman Center. Part 1 of the video, we showed you the back of the Parliament building. We will pass there again, but now we're coming through another end. You can see the roads are very, very narrow. If you go through there, you get to the Swan Street that I mentioned in video number 1, part 1. There's the Bridgetown Mall on our right and the back of Cave Shepherd on the left. So to understand this part of the journey, it's better that you check out our part 1 video to understand how the road network is connected. can see all of the vendors doing their thing on this Saturday, selling their fruit and vegetables. It's very, very narrow, and obviously whoever is parking there wants to come and buy. Maybe they're putting in sauce. This is back to Prince William Henry Street that we covered a few times in part 1. Back across Swan Street. This time we make a left onto James Street. So in the previous video you saw James Street from the other end, from Synagogue Lane. As the pavements are so narrow, the pedestrians prefer to be on the road itself. We have the James Street Methodist Church on the right. Pedestrian in front of us using the road like a pavement, a sidewalk. And we are now at the end of James Street. See how many vendors and shoppers. So we can go straight or turn right, and we're going to turn right to show you where that road meets back to Scotiabank. This is the other end facing City Centre Mall, almost where we started the other video, part 1. And we have the Mutual building again, and we make our way down Broad Street. So between this part 2 and part 1, this is the road here that we would have come out by Scotiabank, so you get an idea of the loop. So between part 1 and part 2, you've journeyed with us down Broad Street and through all of the side streets, Marhill Street included. We've just turned right, and we are back by Parry Street, where the car washers wash the vehicles. Giving you all of the angles. We have Mustard's restaurant here again. We could have turned right here as before, but this time we could have turned left as before, but this time we turn right back onto Broad Street so that we can take you onto the other side of the city. So those are the main areas Bridgetown. It's getting a bit quieter now that it's 4:30. Most places closed between 2 and 3 o'clock. The Parliament again. That's Rickett Street. We didn't get there, but it brings you down to the side of the Parliament building. And now we make our way back across the bridge the Granville Williams bus terminal again. This is the front of Golden Square Freedom Park. A new creation there. New facility for entertaining and recreation. It also houses a wall that honors the first Barbadians, and you can go there and look for your name. Some people go there and they play chess and sit down and have a drink. This is River Road. River Road in the city of Bridgetown. That greenish building that spreads right across, that's the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. We are going left, and then we will come back and go right. There's another bridge here coming up. Constitution Road. This is Queen's Park on our right. The Ministry of Education on the left. Is Queen's Park, and we exited this road so many times in part 1 of the video. I'm sure you can recall. This is Crumpton Street, and we are leaving Constitution Road and entering St. Michael Row. And it's not St. Michael Road, it's actually called St. Michael Row, as in R-O-W. And again, all of the shoppers are making their way. This is the main area that you come to get deals with your produce and various items. Square Freedom Park, River Road, this is Starcom Network on the right, a radio station. I think they have 5 frequencies, 92.9 and 104, or maybe it's 3. I can't remember how many frequencies, but Starcom Network is a part of the OCM group of companies, similar to the Nation Publishing Company, the newspaper, which we covered in part 1 of this tour. Make our way along River Road in the city of Bridgetown. Turn on to Martindale's Road, and we're going to drive across the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. We just turn in and exit. This is actually the entrance of the hospital. That's where we entered. You can't drive there, so you exit this way. A&E is on the left. That's the ambulance entrance, and then there's parking ahead. Back on Martindale's Road, and then the public parking is to the left here. This is the famous St. Michael's School, the St. Michael's School. That's the name of it. And we will just use this roundabout to give you a complete view. This is the Mencia Cox roundabout. If we went along that road, it would take us back to Roebuck Street, which you've seen many times between the two videos. So around the Mencia Cox roundabout, and now we are on to Constitution Road. We've passed Constitution Road twice. That's the transportation. So we're going into Queen's Park now. A nice place for cricket, football, recreation, snow cones, ice cream, culture, because there's a cultural center up here which you will see shortly. This is the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre to our right. You can come there and see plays and other cultural phenomena. But we're coming here to connect the dots. So you may recall that from part 1 of the video, we drove down Crumpton Street a number of times as this vehicle is doing, and then we turned right onto St. Michael Road or left onto Constitution Road. This is the junction here, this gate to Queen's Park. There's a pedestrian gate or a vehicular gate, but this gate is usually closed and vehicles come here from Crumpton Street, which comes off of Roebuck Street. So this gives you an idea of the area. So we're leaving this area now. See it as we reverse. So right now you're facing Constitution Road from within Queen's Park. So we're leaving Queen's Park now. It's in the heart of the city. The Barbados landship. And the little Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre. There's also a Queen's Park gallery in there, lovely displays. There's a pavilion in here. Usually on a Sunday evening you find many Barbadians in here coming just to relax and have a good time. So we won't turn right because we've done that route before onto Constitution Road. We make the left. Here we have the Monsieur Cox roundabout once again. building right ahead of you was the Globe, the famous Globe Cinema. Let's just take this James Tudor roundabout so that you can see it. That's it there. The Globe Cinema used to be the main area for recreation at one time. There are very few cinemas out there now. Barbados still has a drive-in, the Globe Drive-In. But in these days, to go to the cinema, you go to the cinema at the Sheraton Mall, the Olympus. There was one at Lime Grove Lifestyle Center, but that closed down recently. We're back onto Roebuck Street. You can see the connection. You turn right to Country Road. This is the Barbados Labour Party headquarters on our left that we just passed, as well as Harrison College, Roebuck Street entrance. We make a left onto Crumpton Street again. We've passed here so many times that I'm sure by now you have a clear idea of the road network in Barbados, or rather in the city of Bridgetown, Barbados. Now this is that point where we reversed a short while ago. This is the exit here to Queen's Park, and we made the left. We were just inside of the Queen's Park there, so it's all connected. Back on Constitution Road. Vehicle is exiting Queen's Park. We make our way back to the Mencia Cox roundabout. So a short while ago we went left onto Halls Road, came back down Roebuck Street, and connected back to Constitution Road via Crumpton Street at Harrison College, and now we make our way around the Mencia Cox roundabout to go back onto Martindale's Road, the St. Michael's School on our left, and again on the right, the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. school is situated within the parish of St. Michael, and another school with a similar name is the Christchurch Foundation School, which is situated in Christchurch, the parish of Christchurch. So we just came up from River Road and we turned by the hospital and we rejoined this roundabout, which is the Ina Walters roundabout, and we are driving up Lower Cullimarock, the famous Purity Bakery on the right and the Ursuline Convent on the left, which after more than 125 years closed its doors. 125 years of education in Barbados. This is Cullimarock. All along there is the Ursuline Convent. Unfortunately, they're doing some sort of work there and disturbing the road that was resurfaced a few years ago and is now back to its old bumpy self. So we will turn left as we come to the end of our tour. We're going to turn left and show you Belleville. So Belleville is an old residential area that is now mostly commercial, but you still have people living there. But Belleville is a place with lots of doctors' offices and so on. And we are at Cullimarock, about to turn. So we make a left. This area is Pine Road. So Pine Road is to the north of Belleville, and there are 11 avenues. That's 1, Avenue 2, 3, going all along Pine Road to the north of Belleville. So all of these avenues on the left are Belleville. And around the 7th Avenue to the right here is another old Masonic building which was renovated to add on that piece on the right. But this is an old Masonic building, and as I said, the Masonic Center in Salter St. George has replaced them. That was covered in part 1 of the tour. So the 2 Masonic centers, Masonic buildings were sold, and that's now a private company. End of Pine Road takes us to the Nita Barrow roundabout, and this is actually State House ahead of us, which we covered in another video. And we go back up Pine Road from the other angle. 10th Avenue on the right. This is Pine Road again, going on to Cullimarock. continue along Cullimer. So we came from Lower Cullimer. This is Cullimer itself. That left turn there would have taken you into Pine Gardens, which we covered in a previous video. Now this is the outskirts of Bridgetown. This is no longer Bridgetown itself. We're just bringing you along here to show you Cullimer, which leads to Upper Cullimer and then takes you into Wildy. So you continue along this road and it takes you into Wildy. So we will turn because we want to end the tour at the end of Belleville. I'm going to show you the details of Belleville. We are now in Wildy. So we just turn into this new mall known as Wildy Mall. Believe it or not, any Barbadians overseas, you may recognize this area. It used to be the home of banks, the headquarters of banks. And that building was sold and it's now a mall. And it's becoming quite popular. So we're leaving Wildy Road and going right back into Cullimer to traverse Belleville, and then we end the tour there. The famous Highgate Gardens is on the left there, bringing us right back into Cullimer. with all of that bush. That was called Bishop's Court. Some people refer to this area as Bishop's Court Hill. I believe that's where the Anglican Archbishop lived many years ago, but again, that's subject to correction. And the dance theatre to the left, which was destroyed by fires some years ago. So we turn right back onto Pine Road, but this time we're gonna go down Avenue 1. This is 1st Avenue, Belleville. It's behind Sajiko. But you can see the residential areas on the right. Now this is George Street, and this is the back of the Ursuline Convent. So this street here is George Street that goes right down. We're going up 2nd Avenue. Avenue, Belleville. No right turn. Back onto Pine Road and then down 3rd Avenue. To George Street, and this is the Democratic Labour Party's headquarters, the next main political party in Barbados, and it's known as the George Street Auditorium. So you see Belleville sits between George Street, this being George Street, and Pine Road. This is 4th Avenue. Pine Road again. Fifth Avenue.